Kali comes in, it is very intense, it is very traumatic. I will not make it digestible, and it is not for everyone. I have no association with the goddess. I am from a purely Sikh religious background. When I moved back, Kali started showing up in my dreams very strongly, and I used to ignore her until I had to actually sit and research about her. When she came in, my life was destroyed. Now, when I'm out of that, nobody could have done it if it was not for Kali. She makes you progress in life that you will do in an entire lifetime in a couple of years. There is no place closer to home than Kamakhya for me. I feel like, even though I'm not married, I feel like वो मेरा मायका है.
What is your interpretation of the symbolism of Ma menstruating?
If she does not bleed for 4 days, इतना जो हम कर्म कांड कर रहे हैं, वो साफ कैसे होगा? So it is a cleansing of the karma, the soul, the physical body, where you're getting purified of every heavy energy that you're carrying. There's a Rajasmala Kapda also, which when the temple closes, it's a white kapda that is wrapped around the goddess. It is in the Garbhagriha. And after 4 days, when the dwar opens, that entire kapda is red in color. It's everything Kamakhya is.
Hi Jasmeet, welcome to Uncharted Conversations, and I'm so thrilled to have you because this is going to be my 4th podcast on Lalita Tripur Sundari. So thank you so much for being here and doing it with us.
I'm so grateful. I can talk about her for hours. So this was just the best opportunity to share it with the world and with all of you people at Neo Yoga. So it's been an honor.
Thank you so much. So I'll start with, not asking about who's Lalita Tripur Sundari, how does she look like? We've already, I think, covered a lot on our previous podcast. But I think this particular one, I want to engage in the conversation regarding, your relationship with her. And when I say your, I'm really counting in all the devotees, all the people who feel that calling for her, right? So, and I want to start from the start, like I want to begin from the beginning. How does she show up? And when I say how does she show up, I mean, how does she call you? What are these nudges?
Yeah.
And how do you identify? What was your journey, if we start with that?
So I would like to actually start with the mantra of Goddess Kamakhya, because since I connected with her, she started showing up. Lalita started showing up. So
you were doing the mantra for Kamakhya, Ma?
I was actually connected to Kamakhya for a very long time, and to my recent visit to Kamakhya, after that, Goddess Lalita started showing up very massively, that I cannot ignore her anymore. So let's start with the invocation to Ma Kamakhya.
Sure.
Om Kamakhya Varde Devi Neel Parvat Vasini Tvam Devi Jagat Mata Yoni Mudra Namostute. Jai Ma Kamakhya. So it was her that introduced me. So when you go to Kamakhya, you'll see that there's a Garbhagriha of Devi, and then around that Garbhagriha there are 10 Mahavidya temples. And the one closest or right in the complex of Kamakhya is Goddess Lalita Devi. And I did not know that in my first visit. I went there, I sat in front of that idol, and I started crying uncontrollably.
Yeah.
And no one was around that idol. I was just there. She was there dressed up. There were like 10 types of food in front of her. And she just looked so magnanimous.
How was she dressed, if I may ask?
She was, the idol was made of a very silverish, copperish metal. And she was wearing this beautiful green Kanjivaram sari. And she was having the her hands, there was a parrot there was a danda, the sugarcane bow that she holds, and she was dressed in so many bangles and a sindoor and chandan. Like, if you look at her, your eyes would not want to stop look at anywhere else. And then there was someone, a yogi who came, and he was, I think, from Bengal or something, and he was standing in front of me. I was here, and he started praying to her and singing to her because she loves Samgan.
Okay.
And he started singing to her, and it was as if I was in another dimension altogether. It was only his voice
Mm.
and me, and
His
nothing else.
his voice became the portal, I guess.
His voice became, I couldn't understand his language. It was,
Mm.
I don't know if it was Assamese or Bengali, but that way of the devotion, the love that he was singing with, it did something to me. It transformed me in some way.
Mm. And you didn't know much about Ma
N-
Lalita Tripur Sundari
No,
before that time, I'm
absolutely
assuming.
not.
Oh, beautiful.
And when I saw the parrot with
Mm.
her, I thought she was Goddess Matangi, because Goddess Matangi has parrots. So I firstly mistook her for Goddess Matangi, and later I got to realize, oh, she's Lalita Tripura Sundari. So it was a very crazy experience. I did not know her. I did not even wanted to know her at that moment. My only path was the way of Kali, which is very cutthroat, brutal, intense. And Goddess Kamakhya has been the anchor between both the energies, because she is both fierce and she's both the bliss, the love, the nurture. So I remember one very intense vision. So when I went to Kamakhya for the first time, I went there right after Ambubachi, which is the festival when the goddess bleeds. So I was there the very next day. It was filled with devotees and people, and by that time there were Bali of Bull. Now this is a controversial topic, but this changed my life. There were Bali of Bull happening every 5 minutes with dhol and nagara and every sound that you can imagine. And I have never seen Bali in my life. I have never seen even death of a loved one, in at least not in front of me. And that bull was, when he was being slaughtered, I looked at his face, at his eyes, and as if he knew, and he relaxed just a moment before the Bali. And when his head was cut off, everything disappeared in front of my eyes. It was as if, when you go to plant medicine, you see the colors you've never seen.
Yeah.
In front, with my open eyes, I saw those colors. I saw Kamakhya is everybody who's standing in the devotee. Kamakhya is the goddess, is the Bali. The goddess is the one who is
Getting that.
killing the animal.
Yeah.
And everything just vanished. Everything was her. And I could not stop trembling. I could not stop crying the tears of bliss. It was so powerful. Like, that has never left me. And that happened, I think, 3 or 4 years before. And that has changed how I look at the world. Like, nothing is outside of her. We think we are doing something to an animal. But, and I'm not going to say this is right or wrong, but it is her. It is brutal. It is intense. It is terrifying. But again, it is her.
But what do you think? According to you, what exactly is the symbolism of, the Bali of the bull? According to you, like, what is your interpretation?
I like to see these asuras as our inner shadows.
Right.
For example, if I talk about Rakta Bij, the one whose every drop that fell on the ground, it produced another form of the asura equally powerful. And the goddess was first unable to kill him because he multiplied so rapidly, so she produced Kali, right? So these are the never-ending desires that I am going to get there, and then I'm going to be happy. And then something other springs from it. Oh, that person is doing, I also should do it. Or if I'm getting fitter, I need to stop doing. So there's never an end. There's never an end to our desires. That is Rakta Bij inside of ourselves. That is every asura. For example, Shum and Ashum. The subtle sense of ego. Oh, I left that to do that. That past identity is always there, that I sacrifice something big, oh, so I am superior. Or if I am into this sadhana, I am special. If I had gone through a process, attained a siddhi, then I am special. we keep forgetting the whole point of sadhana, of an intense spiritual practice, is to be the most mundane, empty human being. And by empty, I mean empty of yourself and filled with the goddess, filled with the divine bliss that everyone you're meeting, you're seeing goddess in them. Everything you're doing, it's a way of the goddess, where your will, your ego, your narratives, your story, they are just a river of change, and that river is goddess where you're flowing in. So there's no resistance, there's no control, there are no wants. Your desires become her desires. So it's very rooted in what she wants, and you become a channel for her to experience herself in this 3D reality.
So how do you integrate this? Because, like you said, that all these asuras, basically these are our desires, right? So what I'm understanding, that bull represents all the desires we have, and cutting off that, or that bali, that sacrifices, that I am just letting go of all the desires I had, and I put this, onto your feet, and I surrender. Correct?
Yeah.
Now, Ma Kamakhya, what my understanding is, because she is the divine womb, that's why the whole Ambubachi Mela is also celebrated at with such glory.
Yes.
Now, if she's the creator, right? She is the divine womb that we are talking about. Of course, it has to create something, and creation, I feel, can only happen when there is a desire,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
So how do we put the desire in this context? Like, if I have to let go of my desire, then how will the creation happen?
So in Tantra, not like Vedant, they tell us to enjoy life. Every goddess, almost every Mahavidya, has Bhog and Moksha, equally important. So if we talk about Kamala or Lakshmi, she is called the Bhukti Mukti Pradayani. भुक्ति भी देती है, भोग भी देती है, एंजॉय करो, लग्जरी में रहो, घूमो, सब करो, लेकिन मुक्ति भी देती है, सेम गॉडेस. So when you become a channel, now your desires are not to satisfy your ego. Your desires are a way to bring collective harmony. So for example, if I'm talking here with you, I know this is going to reach so many people, and this is her will that she wants to come through and reach those many people. So this is not me entirely. Yes, some form of ego is there, that I'm sitting here, that I'm using the word I and me, but it is her will. And it's so funny that when you texted me about this podcast, I was actually chanting. I was in the middle of chanting Lalita Sahasranam.
Wow.
So this is actually her will. I will not lie. And something that Lalita loves is Vishnu Sahasranam. So Lalita Sahasranam and Vishnu Sahasranam go hand in hand. Once you complete the Lalita, the Vishnu will naturally flow into your life. It is a circle of yoga, of union of feminine and masculine. Either one of them is kind of incomplete without the other.
Okay.
Because Vishnu gives the space to hold Shakti. Shakti is only moving energy if it is not grounded. It's only here, it's not here. So that Vishnu or any male deity form, because every Mahavidya except Dhumavati has a Bhairav form to hold it. Now, something I have seen so much online, that people are going behind Shakti, but where is the masculine to carry that Shakti, to execute that Shakti, to hold it, to nurture it, to make it feel safe, so that the throat opens, the heart opens, the mind opens, to create, to share without doubt or worry. So that's why Bhairava is there, that is why Vishnu is there, to ground all of us into this material realm.
So what I am taking away from this is that whatever comes to me, that I want to do this, it's actually her will. It's her desire that she wants to do this through me.
Yes. If
Right?
you have surrendered yourself to that extent. Because we love control.
Yeah.
I used to love, I still do to some extent. I love
Yeah.
control. I love my schedules. I know when I get to do what. And you cannot let the flow happen with that mindset. So when you actually accept it, and she will make you do the things, she will put you in places in the flow herself. The part we play here is surrender. And I love this thing. I don't know where I heard it or if I channeled it. When you think you've surrendered, surrender more. Because there is nothing as in surrendered.
Yeah.
There's nothing as that I've totally surrendered. So once you have totally surrendered, then she loves to play. If she wants to create something and you bring a very important meeting, she's not gonna be able to, play her Leela. And I love to see as if this entire table is the background. This is her. And we are just mere characters playing part in Leela, some more than others. And it is through her grace that she finds you interesting enough or capable enough that she glances at you and she makes you a part of her Leela. Then you're not a random person going around the world.
Okay, you. No, you get it.
You go there. Now you do my bidding. Now you do what I want you to do.
She's the empress, man. She's
Absolutely. And she has set this up today.
Supreme. Yeah, she has. 100%. Like me doing 4 podcasts on just Lalita Tripur Sundari is a message that I really need to kind of take in and ground myself and understand what is she trying to tell me. But yeah, I think she will only tell me. I leave it up to her.
She loves to play. So just play her Leela. Be where she wants you to do. Explore that nudge, explore that curiosity that she wants you to dive into. And before you know it, you're going to be there at her feet.
Exactly. Coming back to the question that I started with, that how does one know that, she has a message, she's nudging you, she's calling you? Like, how does a devotee know? Because sometimes what my experience has been, right? I had no idea about who's Lalita Tripurasundari. Absolutely no idea. In fact, I only came to know about Mahavidyas I think it's just been like 2.5 years back that I got to know about Mahavidyas. उससे पहले मुझे idea तक नहीं था that there's a Gupt Navratri, there are these 10 really nurturing yet very fierce form of consciousness. Like, I think they are paradoxes.
Absolutely.
Right? They tell you duality in its pure form, I feel. That I'm nurturing. No, I'm fierce. And I'm fierce because I'm nurturing.
Yeah.
It's like that. So I had no idea about it. And then the first time I did a podcast, and again, how I ended up doing it is because, of course, when you are doing podcast, you have to have a lineup, right? So I was just looking for guests, and I was like, okay, maybe I can approach her, and I approached someone. My first podcast guest, Vinita ji. I reached out to her. She said, and I think even with her, my conversation went on for 6 months because she doesn't stay here. She's in Dubai. So, and then she came, she's like, okay, let's do it. And that's how it happened. In my head, I'm like, I'm just like going along with my deadlines, just fulfilling my work duties. But I think maybe she knew that at this point of time, I'm kind of a little mature enough to understand her grace, right?
Yes.
So, and that's how she came in. Now, I know there is something she wants to tell me, but I'm absolutely clueless. What is it? So, how does a devotee know that, she has her glance on you, she's calling you? What are the nudges? How do I identify that?
There's not a way to know. She will be here. You cannot ignor her. She'll show up everywhere. She'll show up in your dreams. She will be everywhere. That is how my journey started years ago. I am not from this background. I have no association with the goddess. I am from a purely Sikh religious background. I don't even pray to, Kali or anyone. I don't used to. And when I moved back after a big transition from Bombay back to Delhi, and Kali started showing up in my dreams very strongly, and I used to ignore her. Just like you said, no, you're trying to ignore her for months. I used to ignore her.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't know you. I don't want to get in touch with you. I know that you're very scary and you're very fierce. So,
Same. I also used to believe.
yeah. So I'm like, no, I don't want to get to know you. Let's keep our distance. I don't even have any background on you. I have no friend who is from that, background or culture. She persistently started showing up until I had to actually sit and research about her on the internet. And then naturally, she put people from that background into my space out of nowhere. Someone from a Uriya background where the Kali is their Isht, Kali is their Kul Devta, Kul Devi. And she just started dropping everywhere that I cannot escape her Leela.
Chakram.
It was actually a chakra when I ignored her for the longest time. I did not want, because she is portrayed as very scary. But the moment I got to know her, I mean, she is the most loving, nurturing, intense, and the love that you would never, you could have never experienced as a human. It's so overwhelming that a human body cannot contain that kind of
I can see
love.
that tinge in your eyes
Yeah.
right now when you speak about it. Yeah.
She is like my mother from day one. And she has got me to Kamakhya, she has got me to Lalita, and she will take me where she wants to.
It's like a relay race. Hey, I've brought you till here, now she'll take care of it.
Yeah. The entire thing being a matrix, the Maya, the Mahamaya of Kali, and everything is just like, oh, you take the baton now you go ahead, play with this character. It's like that.
But Kali is, she is very famous for her fierceness.
Absolutely.
She is, in fact, even when I've spoken to some of the spiritual mentors, they've always told me that, of course, we understand that, some person has an affinity for a deity, for a goddess, but you have to understand it that all the Mahavidyas, and especially Kali, these are like electric wires.
Absolutely.
And they're too uncoated. So you have to, even if you're worshipping them, you have to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
So the way the whole dialogue around them is, you even feel scared that okay, no, मैं तो सिर्फ normal worship करना चाहती हूँ, नहीं, but I don't think so, I should do it. So how did you start on that path? I mean, how did you know that you were ready? Because one is that I want to know you, right?
I was not ready. I did not wanted to know her. I was trying to escape her.
But when you kind of got that thing that, okay, no, I have to now know about her. And one is going into that sadhana. One is that, I surrender and I will do it. Okay?
Yeah.
Because she is also considered to be one of the tantric goddesses, right? So how did that journey happen?
So when I say I was not ready, I did not wanted to approach her. I would say she came to me. I did not go to her. I did not know her, worship her, or anything. Just like you said, she's an intense tantric goddess. So there is a specific way to worship her, which I knew nothing about. And when she came in, she made sure I know how to worship her. So when I tell you that she put people, they were from Kulas of Kali, and they taught me. And it was the randomest thing that has happened to me.
You have to tell the audience the Kulas of Kali so that people who do not know about it have an understanding.
So every lineage or every Kula is basically a group of people who has been worshipping a specific deity for generations. Right? So they become your foundation. And this is very, very important, having a solid background for your, journey of spiritual progress, to be very connected and rooted in your Kul Devta or Devi. At least visit them or appreciate them, offer them once a year. So before I came to the journey of Kali, for 4 years, I was very connected to Guru Granth Sahib Ji, which is from where I am. From the Sikhism community, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji was my first guru, in not a physical sense but in a spiritual sense. He was always there guiding me, telling me where do I want to go, how do I go from here to there, etc. So that is very important to have a stable foundation, because if your Kul Devta or Devi is not happy or not even known, because in today's world I have so many people who do not know the Kul Devta Devi, then even if you want to progress, you might find a lot of misleading people.
Yeah, because for example, a lot of people, like in fact, I was sharing with you right before the podcast started that my great grandfather was an Arya Samaji, right? And I'm sure, like us, there are many other people who
Yeah.
believe in Nirankari,
Yeah,
right?
Nirgun
Nirgud form of consciousness.
Yes.
So for those people, then how do they know that who's their Kuldevta?
Then it could be anyone, your parents, if they were praying to, or if there were some rituals, even worshipping nature itself.
Okay.
Nature is a deity in itself. Nature is a teacher and master in itself. So if someone who prays to the Nirgun, nature is their, I would say, first guru.
Okay.
Learning from nature, observing nature. Just very easily, something that comes to my mind is when that bird has a small baby, she goes and she searches for the food. And even if she is hungry, she will not eat it. She will take it and put it in its child's mouth. And that selflessness is a teaching in itself, if we are observant enough to learn from it. So nature itself is so magnificent as a teacher. That is the Nirgun avatar in its most physical form, most raw form. And coming back to Kali, which is the rawest of the rawest, when she came in, my life was destroyed. And I am saying this in a very literal, practical sense, not just in a spiritual sense. We were living in a joint family. It was very toxic. She came in something that was not able to proceed for 25 years. In that 1 year when she came in, she destroyed every bondage. The family had to break massively. We had to literally survive on crumbs. And we had to rent houses from coming from a very nice ancestral home. We had to survive on crumbs, go on rent. Nobody was earning. Everybody lost their job all of a sudden. It was a very traumatic time.
When she came in.
And I used to think back then that, was it my mistake that I invited it? I used to, question it, because when you see that there were months and months of hospital visits for my mom, for someone or the other in the family, constantly, and we have never been that, serious health-wise or something. And that 1 year was very massive, and I thought it would never end. And I used to question it, doubt it कि यार आप आ गए, आपने ऐसे कर दिया, तबाही कर दी, मैं ready भी नहीं थी इस चीज़ के लिए, फिर भी आप आए. Now when I'm out of that, it's been a couple of years since that. Nobody could have done it if it was not for Kali. Nobody. And that is when I realized, when you allow a presence, a consciousness to enter your life, they will take over. They will put where they want you to put. And a lot of people say this, then when Kali comes in, she makes you progress in life that you will do in an entire lifetime in a couple of years. And I've seen that firsthand. I've experienced that first, and something that was not done for the past 25 years in my entire family was done in 1 to 2 years. Nobody could have done it but her. So it is very intense. It is very traumatic. I will not make it digestible, and it is not for everyone. But when she comes, allow her to come. There is something that needs to unlock, something that needs to break apart. I would not have been here if it was not for Kali. She initiated me directly. It was not a guru. And that is why I believe you do not need a mediator to have a conversation with the consciousness. The gurus are very important, but there should not be. मेरे और मेरे भगवान के बीच में जो चल रहा है वो कोई तीसरा बंदा नहीं बता सकता.
How beautiful. Yes.
वो सिर्फ मुझे पता है और उसको पता है.
Yes. I believe in that. I always say, it's like, why do I need someone else to kind of, introduce me to my God, right?
You don't.
It's a very, I think with Bhagwan के साथ ना आपका एक बड़ा private relationship
It's very
होता है.
intimate.
It's very intimate. That you don't tell me how to worship her, but then that's where my every time, I'm talking about Mahavidyas, this is where I kind of reach that point where I have been told that no, but there are certain energies that you have to worship them in a way
Yes.
that you do not know about, and you have to learn it from someone. And I'm like, and I think it took me some time to kind of come to that point that, okay, maybe, this is how she wants it. And, you cannot be like, no, no, but I want to do it like that. It's her will.
Yeah.
Fine, no
Yeah,
problem.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, gurus are very important. They tell you how to ritualistically worship a deity, how to please and offer it to them. But those same gurus will be placed on your path around you by her.
So you didn't have any guru when you used to worship
No,
Kali? So
not
what
directly.
was
It
like?
happened very recent, I think only a couple of years ago, that I got a physical guru. I did not have a physical guru.
So how did you used to worship her? Like,
I
were there
just
any
used to chant her
mantras?
name. Kali, Kali, Kali.
Really? Just that?
Absolutely.
Just
And then
that?
she put people, as I said, from Kalikula
Okay.
into my picture. But they were not, I would say, my guru, but they were a guide, a mentor. They would tell me, okay, you can try this and see where this goes. Because I had no relationship with her. So for them also, it was quite tricky to, because I was coming, Kali was coming. How do they tame it? How do they give it a structured path?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
And it's very recent that I have a physical guru. So she guided it. She is my first guru. Second, actually, the first would be Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So she's my second guru, and she initiated me herself. No guru, no mediators, only her.
Yeah, that's what even I feel. I was like, one is that she has chosen you, and once she chooses you, she'll take care of it. Now, why to worry who will be the guru? You just go with her flow.
Yes.
But how did you keep that faith in her even everything was breaking apart? Because I feel, and trust me, this comes from personal experience. और ये शायद ना हमारी एक societal conditioning भी है. बचपन से आपने देखा होता है कि कुछ भी, whether that's movies, whether that's at home, right? Anything that goes wrong, you go to temple, you worship, you take care of it, and you always have this that no, like God is there with me, everything will end up well. So when you have invited God and it's not ending up well, and it's ending up in a way and you're like, but this is not how I was trained to look at it, right?
Yeah.
How does any devotee keep their faith in that consciousness and be like, no, it's okay, you're doing it must be for my good, when you see that, like you said, that there were hospital visits, things were breaking apart, families were breaking apart, you lost the job, you're like, this doesn't look like, sorry.
This doesn't look like God. My version of God.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how does one keep faith?
I think you have no option but to have faith.
Really? I
No
think
option but to. When you're at your lowest, when you're at ground zero, you have nothing. No, all your identities that you had broke apart. The family that you had broke apart. The health that you had broke apart. What will you do? You have no option but to have faith. And as I said,
annoyed.
you get really annoyed. And I used to, just fight with her कि यार आपने ऐसे कर दिया, आप आए थे, मैंने तो नहीं बुलाया था आपको, आपने ये कर दिया, वो कर दिया. And I used to really fight with her aggressively. And I used to also doubt कि यार, is she, good for me? Is she for me?
Yeah.
When you think like that, when you're at that space. But she made me realize, as I'm saying, sitting here now, it would not have been any other way if it wasn't Kali.
I think we all know that, life has, of course, there will be ups and downs. You would be going through most of the excruciating periods of your life, correct? But then in those moments, I think anyone who is a seeker and who wants to believe in that consciousness, the only thing that person would pray for is that I understand that this has to happen. This is important, but at least make me feel supported. Make me feel that you were there for me. Did you feel that? Oh, yeah,
absolutely. There is not a single question that I have had unanswered from her. There is not a single prayer that she did not fulfill or answer back. God will not give you something that you cannot handle. She, he, whatever you want to call it, universe, God, they will not give you something you cannot handle. And they are always there to take care, even if we feel it at the moment or not. They are always there, and if it was not you, nobody could have done it. Like, there is this very famous term, black sheep of the family, right? The one generational breakers, chain breakers. If it wasn't for that person, nobody could have done it. So it's mind blowing how the consciousness saw that potential within you to go through all of that intense period and trauma and nerve wracking energy and everything, and took you to the other side. The process, the other side is a very different life, but the process, you have to have trust.
It's a rocky road.
It's not even a road. If I have to be honest, there were months that I cried at night that please stop this chaos. Kali brings chaos.
What answers did you get when you used to question
रुक
her
जाओ,
like that?
सबर करो, रुक जाओ. That was constant. मेरे हाथ में है चीजें, रुक जाओ, सबर करो. These two lines, रुक जाओ, सबर करो, they were constant. I am saying कि एक भी question मेरा ऐसा नहीं है that she has not answered. Till this day. Till this day.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And so there's a very beautiful thing Sri Ramakrishna Paramahans experienced in one of his visions. He saw that there was a very beautiful woman coming out of the Ganga to the Ghat, Panchavati in Kolkata near Dakshineshwar. That there was a very beautiful woman coming out of the Ganga and she was pregnant. She came at the Ghat, she gave birth, it was a beautiful child. She nurtured it and, cuddled it and everything. And then she ripped it apart with her teeth, with her hands, and she devoured it and went back into the Ganga. And that is Kali. That is Kali. The one who will love you, nurture you, give you all the hold and strength
And rip you apart.
And rip you apart. To make us understand, we are not this physical body. We are not what we see. We are. The consciousness is always there, whether in the form of a Bali, in a child, in a woman, in a man, in an animal. The consciousness never ends.
I do admit that, I'm not a very evolved person and I think none of us are. I mean, to understand that level of consciousness,
Absolutely.
to understand her grace, at least I'm still rising. I'm a nobody.
She's incomprehensible by a human mind.
Yes. So even when people tell me that, you leave it up to her, na, she'll take care of it. Have faith in her. So मैं जब वो सोचती भी हूँ ना तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हाँ, she is the vehicle. I am just sitting in that car and she'll take me through. But with that faith that she will not let anything happen to me, right? But now when you put it like that, it's like, but she will also put you through that.
Yeah.
Right. वो मुझे थोड़ा indigestible लगता है because I'm like, but I put my faith in you.
Yeah, because see, the picture of God for us is very happy, very joyful. Everything is nice, happy days.
Yeah, because I think since childhood, the way goddesses, at least, and I'm strictly talking about goddesses over here, and I'm not talking about Mahavidya, I'm talking about Lakshmi, Saraswati ji, Parvati ji, these are pyari goddesses, they are mothers, they are protectors, they are like, ye chahiye, just take it, right? They're like, they'll give you what you want, right? I think they help you live in this Maya with what you want to desire, right? What do you want? And then comes all these Mahavidyas who are absolute paradoxes.
Yeah.
And the most beautiful thing is that I'm fierce and I'm dangerous because I care about you so much.
Exactly.
Right? But just to have that unconditional, faith in them that I trust you, even if you rip me apart.
Yeah.
That level of devotion is, I think, something else. And I really bow down to all the people who have that kind of devotion because, like I said, I'm still in my evolution process.
Yeah.
I'm not yet reached there. But just to put yourself in someone's hands and someone's mercy and someone's divine, I should not even say that. Sorry, my bad, but in someone's divine care.
No, but mercy is the right word.
कि वो care में भी वो आपको rip कर सकती है.
She takes away our heads, जो मुंड माला काली पहनती है. She takes away our heads, our ego, our stories, and she glorifies those heads.
Crazy.
And it's so, कितनी बार हुआ है बचपन में that you were given what you wanted? How much did you learn from that?
That what I wanted, I've been given that.
Yeah. How much did you learn from that experience?
To be grateful, I guess. But I learned that when I did not get it, actually. Yeah.
That is the
That,
Mahavidya.
I didn't get it that time, but I got it this time.
Yes, that process
Yeah.
of instant gratification is removed.
Yeah.
It's all death, 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 death. And then you're presented with a Mundumala to
Yeah.
Kali.
That's the reason I think Kali is, she's something else. She's
She is-
not for everybody.
No.
She is, you really need to have a heart to, to be like, you know what, I put myself in your care. She's something else. But have you ever had, since you said that she has been your first guru and she's been the initiator, like I've heard so many stories from people that when they meditate or when they're talking, they feel that even in terms of physical presence. Like, do you have any such story, any such anecdote? Some person came from here, from nowhere, and they did this, or I was meditating and I felt this presence. Do you have any such recollection where you felt her presence for real and not just in energy and mind?
Yeah. There was, मेरी ना एक जिद थी आज से 2 साल पहले when I went to Kolkata and I was very curious to meet her in person. In Kali Ghat and Dakshineshwar, Kolkata is famous for that. And she was like, don't go now.
Achha.
And I was like, nahi, meko to jana hai. Because that ego is still there ki no, I have control. मैं जो चाहूँ मैं वो कर सकती हूँ. And she proved कि ऐसा नहीं है. I went to Kali Ghat. I had a very bad experience where, the moment you get down from an auto or a, cab, there are so many people that हम आपके VIP दर्शन कराते हैं. And the entire process was very, very not good. That kind of broke my heart. कि यार आपके एरिया में ऐसा हो रहा है, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? The second day, I went to Dakshineshwar. There was some misunderstanding and I am standing here at the front of that gate and वो gate मेरे सामने बंद हो रहा है कि मुझे दर्शन नहीं हो रहे. And I felt her presence so strong that मैंने मना किया था and you still came. That is when Kali gave me a break for a year or something, where that मेरी जिद थी and she said no and I still did it. That was such a heartbreaking moment for me. Like I've been through intense relationships and breakup, but nothing was as close as when those gates closed in front of me. I was like, आप मुझसे प्यार नहीं करते. मैंने इतना intense journey आपके लिए किया और आपने मुझे दर्शन नहीं दिए. आप मुझसे प्यार नहीं करते. And I cried for months after that and she gave me a break कि अभी थोड़ा रुक जाओ. And then the softer energies, Lalita, Kamala, Mahalakshmi came in. And now, it's so funny. Same time 2 years ago she went and same time this year she's entering again, Kali. And I'm like, अब क्यों आ रहे हो आप? आप तो मेरे लिए नहीं थे ना? तो अब क्यों आ रहे हो आप? मैंने तो नहीं बुलाया आपको फिर से. But there's a small murti in my mandir of Kali. And when you keep a murti of Kali in your home, you have to first do shringar so that it's not so intense. And you have to keep a subtler form of goddess as well. So I have a photo of goddess Lalita. And I did a very recent Kali Puja and I'm just sitting there after hours just admiring how beautiful she is. And I'm not able to get up. I'm not able to think of anyone but her. I actually felt कि अच्छा अब काली चली गई हैं तो अब कोई और आएगा, ठीक है आ गया, लेकिन काली से मेरा डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाएगा. But I still remember that first time that I met her and that has only grown. And I feel her presence every day answering back to me, guiding me. कल ही मेरी उनसे थोड़ी सी लड़ाई हुई कि यार मेरा ये ऐसा था, आपने डिले कर दिया, आपने ये कर दिया, मेरा इतना मन था. तुम अभी भी नहीं सीखी कंट्रोल. तुम्हें अभी भी चाहिए, तुम्हारी मर्जी से हो. And at the night I relaxed. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, मुझे पता है आप मेरे से मजे लेते रहते हो, ले लो, कोई बात नहीं, I surrender. So these experiences of every day, no, they put you at a humble place. कि आप नहीं कर रहे, कितना रेजिस्ट कर लो, कितना कोशिश कर लो कि नहीं, मैं कंट्रोल कंट्रोल कंट्रोल, मेरा काम, कुछ नहीं है.
Do you think Kali has a sense of humor?
Absolutely. She loves.
I think she has dark humor.
She has very dark humor, and she will piss you off
Yeah.
to make you learn a lesson.
Yeah.
She's not a gentle goddess to
No,
make you learn a
she's
lesson.
savage.
She actually, that thing that I just said, she'll rip apart the
Yeah.
child. That is what she does. That is her humor. That is how she likes to have fun.
That's humor.
Yes. That's Kali humor.
Interesting.
Where everything is her. Something I learned about her, something I experienced is she's a black hole. When you meet her, she'll suck you in that nothing remains. Nothing remains. You're into that void. आप कौन हो, आप क्या करते हो, आपका काम बंद हो जाएगा, सब बंद हो जाएगा. To make you learn that she is the one who gives, and she is the one who can also take away all of that things that she has given. She's merciless. She's absolute merciless.
And that too also for our own betterment.
For our own betterment. So her lessons are not lovey-dovey, smooth, a fun ride. Her lessons are intoxicating. You'll get frustrated, you'll want to shout, you'll want to bang on the table. And then you'll be like, अच्छा ये सिखा रहे हो, ठीक है.
But मुझे ना इसी चीज से डर लगता है. Like for example, a little back while what you were saying that, you know, आप मुझसे प्यार नहीं करते. Like I feel the day when I am into that journey where I'm like a proper sadhana, right? I never want to have a day where I tell this to my goddess that no, आप मुझसे प्यार नहीं. मुझे बहुत बुरा लगेगा. मुझे बहुत बुरा लगेगा because I feel मेरे जैसे इंसान को उस पाथ पे लाना उस पाथ पे लाके अगर वो वापस वहीं चला जाए कि आप मुझसे प्यार नहीं कर. आई नेवर वांट टू हैव अ डे लाइक दैट. आई रियली वांट टू लाइक व्हेन आई माय पिक्चर ऑफ दैट इज दैट द डे व्हेन आई गेट इनटू इट आई रियली वांट टू बी लाइक कि आप कर रहे हो सब बढ़िया चल रहा है. which is not possible also. I feel हर टाइम बढ़िया नहीं हो सकता, but I really just don't want any day to come where I say, you know, you don't love me. I'll feel very bad. I'm a very sensitive person like that. And that too, it's like, you know, you want, एक होता है मुझे दुनिया से validation चाहिए. आप वो भी अपने आप को मना लेते हो कि ठीक मुझे दुनिया से नहीं, मुझे आपसे चाहिए. But वो the supreme consciousness जिसको आप इतना प्यार करते हो, ठीक है, वो आपको validation ना दे, तो वो तो उससे ज्यादा बुरा कुछ नहीं हो सकता मुझे लगता है.
Like for Kali, बोलो.
Like I'm saying for an ego.
Yeah, and she is the one who cut throats that ego. Yeah. She's the highest Mahavidya. She's the first Mahavidya. Yeah. She is the void. She's a non-duality. तो वो यही तो सिखा रही है कि मैं तुमसे बाहर थोड़ी हूँ. मैं तुमसे बाहर थोड़ी हूँ. जो हम कहते हैं माँ आप हमसे प्यार नहीं करते. Yeah. माँ एक अदर सब्जेक्ट हो गया, ऑब्जेक्ट हो गया. आप ऑब्जेक्ट हो, वो सब्जेक्ट है. आइडेंटिटी हो गया, डुअलिटी आ गई. बट वो तो नॉन डुअल है, वो तो हर जगह है. और एक ललिता माँ के सहस्त्र नाम में जो आपका हार्ट चक्र है ना, दैट इज ऑफ ब्लैक कलर. इट इज रिटन अनहत आब्जनिल्या श्याम भा इज ब्लैक. सो योर हार्ट सेंटर हमें बड़ा ग्रीन और पिंक लगता है ना. व्हेन यू एक्चुअली सिट एंड मेडिटेट, इट्स ब्लैक. एंड हमें लगेगा यार ब्लैक कैसे हो सकता है, बट व्हेन यू एक्चुअली सिट डाउन एंड यू मेडिटेट विद इट, the black feels so natural, as if it has always been there. Always. It doesn't feel you have to force imagining a black field or a flower or Kali itself.
Because it's always been dark now. I didn't know. So मुझे तब तक नहीं पता था जब हमने अपना पहला ललिता त्रिपुर सुंदरी पे पहला पॉडकास्ट किया था. So Vinita ji said something so beautiful. She said a lot of people think that total dissolution is when apocalypse happen, when you know Shiv opens his third eye.
Tandav
It's like, no, if Shiva is there, how can it be that everything has ended?
Yes.
Because Shakti is still there, right?
Yes.
It's when Kali devours Shiva.
Yes.
That is when it's complete annihilation, and that is when you can go in complete darkness. And I'm like, so basically the energy, because even if she has devoured, the Shakti is still there, right?
Mahatandav Sakshini. So if she's witnessing
Yeah.
the Tandav happening, the dissolution happening, she is the witness. She's
Yeah.
still present.
She's still present.
And then she devours Shiva as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
After that Mahatandav, after that dissolution. That is the void.
That is the void, and that is dark.
That is dark. That is absolute nothingness. No time, energy, space, consciousness.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So we all came from dark only.
We all came from a mysterious void.
But I know why we always try to be this light, and you know, I'm such a white person.
Come to Kali, she'll show you light.
It's dark.
It's a play.
Why are we so obsessed about being right and, you know, being
See, if
light?
we become too much light, we create an imbalance for the entire consciousness.
Yeah.
We create an imbalance for us. We are physically in a dual world. We are always in the light and the shadow. Light and the shadow. And similarly, goddess Lalita and Kali are two sides of the same coin. None can exist without the other. If it's too intense, you will not be able to live. Or if it's too nice and flowy, you'll feel, what is my purpose? Am I here to enjoy only? There has to be a balance. That is why goddess Lalita came secondary. First Kali came for me. To show me the absolute truth. कि कोई अलग नहीं है. ठीक है, मैं तुम्हारी माँ हूँ. That doesn't mean कि मैं तुमसे बाहर हूँ.
But it can be the opposite way also.
Absolutely.
First Lalita can come
Yes.
and, you know, or pamper you, cuddle you, and you'd be like, "Arey, zindagi to bahut maze mein hai."
Giving you everything that you want.
And take you to and give you so much that you get to the point where you questioning that, okay, nice, but like what beyond
Kali
that?
comes in.
And then Kali comes in as like,
takes away everything that she's
you
given.
say, beyond this is me.
Yeah. See, all of us are such unique individual expressions of the consciousness. Why did they think, oh, I want to do something fun and create these little tiny characters, parts of myself? Why would she want that if it was not for us to have our very unique journeys? Absolutely unique, absolutely incredible. And that is why I totally believe that we are part human consciousness and part God consciousness. We are not both of them entirely. We are not 100-100, we are 50-50. So we can, you know, be in absolute bliss कि अच्छा अभी enjoy कर लो, जाना तो वही है. कर लो enjoy जितना कर सकते हो. कोई बात नहीं. उन्होंने दिया है, enjoy करने को दिया है ना, ये नहीं घर वालों को छोड़ के चलो बाहर चलते हैं, let's go on to Himalayas, let's go on you know, in ashrams and renounce the world. If she has given you something, you're disrespecting it by not engaging in it. It is her world. How can you not fall in love with everything that is her?
So, but then how was your journey from Kali to Kamakhya happen?
It was the most randomest plan. Number one, I did not know much about Kamakhya. But I had this feeling that I have to go there. So I just booked my flights, I think, a week before going. And I did not know कि Ambubachi हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. And I just went there, and Ambubachi was my first time. And it was the most intense experience for me. The first one, like I mentioned, the Bali happened and everything dissolved. And I saw vivid colors of Devi, of Bali, everything one. And I remember I was in that temple complex for 8 hours. It's a very like बहुत भीड़ है, बहुत लोग हैं. It's very intense. Just being in that complex is intense. So the first time I went there, I was crying for those 8 hours. I don't know what happened to me. Like tears were pouring down, and since that time, every time I go back, I feel like, even though I'm not married, I feel like वो मेरा मायका है. There is no place closer to home than Kamakhya for me. Not even my own physical home. So that place is like the goddess has called me into her womb and said that, oh, come here. You've originated from me. You can come and relax with me.
The womb, it's a divine womb.
Yeah.
That's what she is.
And then you see all of these Mahavidya temples around Kamakhya. Now there's a very tricky thing that happens. If you're not meant to reach a Mahavidya, you will not be able to reach that temple also. And all temples are gupt, which means there's only one diya. There is no light inside the garbhagriha of each Mahavidya temple, and they are covered with flowers. And when I went into the Kali temple, that is just on Tara temple and Kali temple is just right outside Kamakhya. I went into the Kali temple, and she's like, "Aa gayi tu?" And I sat there, and the energy is so heavy, it is so intense. You cannot sit there for more than 2 to 5 minutes. It's you will just feel her presence so strongly, like she's alive there, sitting right in front of you. And how much can you take the void? She's like, तुम्हें लगता है तुम कुछ झेल सकते हो? आओ इधर आओ, मैं बताती हूँ क्या झेल सकते हो. And you go and you sit there and you will not be able to. It'll overwhelm you. And then there's Bhuvaneshwari temple at the top of the Nilachal Parvat. It's empty, all empty. And it's like you've entered a royal kingdom. It feels like it's yellow colored, all of it, mostly yellow whitish color, and you'll actually feel you've entered a city of gold when you visit the Bhuvaneshwari temple. And she's at the top. Bhuvaneshwari is Loka ki Ishwar. And we think, these are softer goddesses. But Bali happens in every temple, even the Bhuvaneshwari temple. We assume that she is all nice, no fierceness. No. Bali happens in every single temple. Goddess Baglamukhi temple, right? It's like a 10-minute walk from the main Garbhagriha. It is another intense energy. You can feel her dragging you in by your hair into the temple.
Oh God.
It's the experiences that you have there, the energy that you have there, it is unexplainable. It is very direct, very strict. You will see the mirror like this and you will not like what you will see. There's a very big, मतलब बहुत बड़ी ना चट्टान पत्थर ऐसा सा है बगलामुखी माता के मंदिर के अंदर. To me, that patthar feels like a mirror, as if she's showing me the reality. कि ये देख, ऐसा है, वैसा है, तू ये समझती थी, ऐसा नहीं है. And that is hard to digest. And goddess Baglamukhi, she is the goddess of Sthamban. She paralyzes the enemy. She paralyzes the speech if somebody is able, trying to curse someone and something like that. When you go there and you sit, you will not be able to move. It's as if somebody has locked your joints and you're there and hours will pass. For Kali, you cannot sit for 2 minutes. For Baglamukhi, you will not want to move. It's so paradoxical. But every temple is a experience in itself. And every time I've tried to visit the Dhumavati temple, I've never been able to till this day. I've been to Kamakhya 3 times, but never been able to go to the Dhumavati temple. She doesn't come easily. She's not pleased easily.
Oh.
She needs a purpose to come into your life. Just like Kali needs a purpose to come into your life. So does Lalita. Either it's their will that they come through, or it's the heart of the devotee that they are called for.
But I think even that's her calling.
Even that's her call. That is some form of prarabdha karma that you're carrying.
Yes.
Some form of sadhana that you have done in a previous lifetime that you're able to even approach her.
Yeah. Because without her will, you cannot even know her if you.
उनका नाम बोलने के लिए भी उनका grace चाहिए.
Yes, I agree.
उनको worship करना तो बहुत बड़ी बात है.
I agree. मुझे नहीं पता था, बिल्कुल कोई आइडिया ही नहीं था. एकदम ऐसे oblivion से वर्ल्ड में जी रही थी मैं कि अच्छा ये भी कुछ होता है. I had no idea. She just came in and now the way she's coming in, she's like, और करो और बातें करो मेरे बारे में. Keep talking about me and I'm like, I'm happy doing this. So, but then was Kamakhya, Ma Kamakhya was also your guru the way Kali was. Like, what was that journey for you?
She was like a ichha वो सारी मेरी इच्छाएं पूरी करती है। जैसे माँ को बोलो कि अच्छा मम्मी मुझे ना ये बहुत पसंद है खाने में, तो वो बना देती है। तो कामाख्या भी मुझे ना ये मन कर रहा है कुछ करने का, ये मेरा प्रोजेक्ट है, आइडिया है, कर दो ना, वो कर देती है। मतलब शी इज वेरी, टू मी पर्सनली शी इज लाइक द मदर दैट लिसन्स टू मी ऑलवेज। मैं उनके सामने रोऊं, उनको याद करूं। सो देर आर टाइम्स व्हेन आई मिस हर सो मच दैट आई जस्ट वांट टू गो बैक। एंड आई नो कि ठीक है, इतना भी जाना अच्छा नहीं है, you know, because the point of this is to get over it, that she's not outside you. And that happened to me very recently. This year I went to Mahakumbh and I was sitting around the ghat and I heard this voice कि मैं तुम्हें हर जगह इसीलिए बुला लेता हूँ कि तुम्हें पता चले कि ये सब तुम्हारे अंदर है। ये मेरे को शिव जी की आवाज आई महाकुंभ के घाट में। कुछ महीने बाद आई वाज रीडिंग ललिता सहस्त्रनाम. वन ऑफ हर description that is given is अंतर्मुख समाराध्या बहिर्मुख सुदुर्लभा, which means जो आपके अंदर है ना वही सच है, बाहर आप जितना देखोगे कोई फायदा नहीं। So ultimately everything is just going inside. आप माँ बुला लो, पापा बुला लो, कुछ बुला लो, everything is just
inside.
yeah.
But
And they make you realize this.
उनके नाम में भी तो it's like Kama, right? Desire.
Yes,
Kamakhya.
Kamroop.
She is the home of desires.
Yes.
So I think rightly so that she's like Tathastu.
And she's like my Maika now. You know, when you enter a room where you have lived for years, you, even if your eyes are closed, even if there's entire darkness, you know कि light का switch कहाँ है, fridge कहाँ है, TV कहाँ है, remote कहाँ है, you know everything. That is the experience of Kamakhya for me. I know everything. Even though I have not dedicated myself to her entirely, but it feels like बस वूम्ब में आ गई हूँ मैं उनके, अब मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए और मेरा वहां से कभी आने का मन नहीं करता। मुझे यहाँ बस यहीं रहने दो, बस यहीं रहने दो।
What is your interpretation of the symbolism of Ma menstruating, and especially in those few days, right? How do you look at it?
So not just for Ma itself, for my own body, when I am menstruating, I feel like we are carrying such karmic blockages from our lineage and the ones we marry into, that if it was not for menstruation, how would we purify it? It's, for me, it's a way to cleanse the body. It's the way to purify the body. So I don't think it's unclean. It's the most purest thing.
Yeah.
And even for Ma, if she does not bleed for 4 days, इतना जो हम कर्म कांड कर रहे हैं, वो साफ कैसे होगा? So it is a cleansing of the karma, the soul, the physical body, where you're getting purified of every heavy energy that you're carrying. So जो महा नीलाचल पर्वत पे है, वहाँ बोलते हैं जब when she is menstruating, the Brahmaputra that's running alongside it, it turns red. So there are some in that parvat, I don't, zinc oxide, and there are 2 components. When she menstruates, it's a very rainfall season. It's raining by that time. So when she menstruates, the rainfall comes, it goes into the parvat, it brings out those zinc oxides and all of those components, and then they flow to Brahmaputra, turning it red. So this is how nature cleanses itself. It always comes in the rainy season. Ambubachi. प्यूरिफाई करने के लिए भी तो कोई चाहिए ना, इतना हैवी हो गया, हमें नहा के क्यों इतना अच्छा लगता है? After periods, why do we have a burst of energy? Because we have purified a cycle. We've purified the heaviness, where we have overloaded ourselves with power, this and that, XYZ. It's a purification. So for me, that Ambubachi, the menstruation cycle, it represents purification. And there's a Rajasmala Kapda also, which when the temple closes, it's a white kapda that is wrapped around the goddess. It is in the Garbhagriha. And after 4 days, when the dwar opens, that entire kapda is red in color. It's called the Rajasmala Kapda. And it is everything. It's symbol of, I cannot put it in words. It's everything Kamakhya is. It is everything Kamakhya is, even though we don't even know this percent of Kamakhya in a human mind. But इतना सा भी अगर वो हम उनको comprehend कर सकते, that is the Ambubachi. It is the most expansive time. You go during Ambubachi, you will feel you're in another world altogether. This is not happening on earth. This type of energy is not physically possible to hold on earth. How can she bring it here? It's a portal in itself.
Yeah, I've heard it so many times that that period is a portal in itself,
Yeah.
where you can really just connect with her.
Yeah. You touch her, the गर्भगृह है वहाँ थोड़ा सा पानी होता है उनका. You touch it, you'll feel like you've entered back physically into the mother's womb, not just in a mental or a spiritual sense. You're there now. So it's actually a portal. And this is something only one can experience. मैं इसको कितना भी बता दूँ, this cannot be, encapsulated in words.
Yeah, it's very subjective.
It's very subjective.
Yeah.
But for me, that is my home.
So, do you think that she, like you said, that that whole menstruation time purifies? So she is kind of purifying our karma blocks, everything that we have done, because she's pure in herself. She doesn't need to, right?
The earth.
Yeah.
If you take earth as a female body, Bhumi Devi, she is the Yoni of the earth. So she's purifying the entire earth. जो हमने इतनी भर दी है pollution से, इससे, उससे, अपनी energetic consciousness से. So she purifies the entire Bhumi Devi. If you just imagine it in your head, we live in a city of a few kilometers. How powerful and magnanimous it will be to purify the entire earth and to witness that in front of you. So उस टाइम ऐसे कहते हैं जिस टाइम अम्बुबाची चल रहे होते हैं, not to do any practice or something, because the mother is mensurating. You would not want to pain her, tell her कि मुझे ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए. That is when she needs the rest. Where she's purifying us, the earth.